What's happening, lads? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Thumbaldinho here, and we are here for my reaction to the news that Michael Carrick is set to stay as Manchester United manager. And here is three things that Ineos must do to make Carrick a success at Manchester United, and also what Carrick should do to make himself a success at Manchester United. This is a very big decision by Ineos, a risky one in my opinion, that could come back to haunt them, but also could be the right decision and maybe could take us to the promised land of getting back to where we used to be. So yes, Michael Carrick is set to stay at Manchester United. Ineos have made that decision, and apparently they're set to give him a 2-year contract. So I don't know what people's thoughts are on this, but my thoughts is it's a very risky decision. Very risky decision. Look, Michael Carrick has done really, really well as the interim Manchester United manager since he's come in January. He's had some amazing results, played some amazing football at times, but there has been games where we've played very poorly, but still got results. And that's what kind of papered over the cracks, the results in those games. So people really need to look at this from a realistic point of view. Is Carrick the right guy to take Manchester United forward? My stance has always been, if a world-class manager is out there, we need to go for that world-class manager. At least start making phone calls and seeing if we can convince them with the Manchester United project. But it looks like we're actually just going to give Carrick the job without even doing that. Like, I cannot believe that. That is not the way a football club should be ran. It's as simple as that. We need to actually start acting like a football club and actually start making phone calls to managers, seeing if they're available first. We can't just go off the basis Michael Carrick, has got us from, what was it, 7th to 3rd. Like, don't get me wrong, that's an amazing achievement by Carrick, and we've secured Champions League football, which no one actually thought we were going to get at the start of the season, including myself. So look, now that was the target for me at the start of the season, but I actually didn't think we would get it based off last season's 15th place finish. But Michael Carrick has come in, he's steadied the ship, he brought back the United DNA for like 2 or 3 games, and then it's been basic tactics since then. But we have got the results, so you could say he does deserve maybe another year, not a 2 or 3 year contract. Like, it's such a risky move, man. It really is. I honestly don't think this might be the right decision. I really don't think it is. Like, I just think, as I said, I'm going to say it over and over again probably, but it is a risky move by Ineos. It really, really is. I'll say this. If this all goes tits up next season, it's all on Ineos. You will not see me next season calling for Michael Carrick's head. It will not be happening. I will be calling out the board for their shit. Because here's the thing. I'm going to give you three things that Ineos must do to make next season a success. The first thing and the most important thing, get the recruitment right. Manchester United need to get the recruitment right this summer in terms of bringing players in and getting rid of players that aren't good enough. Like, we want to make a minimum of 5 signings apparently. That's going to be about £300 million. Let's be real. We have a £150 million budget for midfielders. So apparently we're going to get 2 to 3 midfielders in the summer, which then leaves us another 150 million to spend on 2 players that, we might need a fullback, I think, maybe a new left back. I think we need a backup striker, potentially a winger, maybe even a right back. We need a lot of positions. Let's be real, we do. But the most important thing is getting the midfield and getting Casemiro replaced the right way. And we need a proper replacement. We can't go out there and spend, 60, 70 million on a guy who isn't really that great. We need to go with a guy who's elite in his position and the best in class, the best quality of player. And I think Elliot Anderson, I think Tonali, I think Chouameni are those guys. So we need to be going for those guys this summer. It's absolutely vital we get Casemiro replaced when he leaves the football club. And look, I think a left back is needed. Obviously, everyone in the world as a Man United fan would love Nuno Mendes. I would love Nuno Mendes. That's not going to happen because, look, who's going to want to leave that PSG team? Let's be real. But again, hopefully we can get maybe a Lewis Hall, maybe someone like that, young, energetic, very good left back. I think he's top. I really do. And Luke Shaw needs competition because Luke Shaw, in my opinion, is just not good enough for Manchester United whatsoever. I do believe he needs competition. So hopefully Lewis Hall can be that guy. And I think maybe even a centre back, lads. Like, a centre back, I think, is vital because if you look at the centre backs, as I said, Maguire, good standard centre back, has done a really good job in the last couple of seasons as a centre back for Manchester United. I think he's one of the first names on the team sheet at times. He's been really, really good. I think Lisandro Martinez is very not inconsistent. You could say inconsistent, but I would say inconsistent when it comes to playing games. He doesn't start a lot of games because he's either suspended or he's injured. So he's just not sustainable. Let's be real. He's not reliable. That's the word I was looking for. Not reliable. De Ligt is out with a back injury. We don't know when he's going to be back. Aiden Heaven, inexperienced, but has done really well this season. I'll be real. He's done really well when he's played for Man United this season. I would definitely keep him. Lenny Yoro, inexperienced. Maybe he could play maybe right back, maybe. Who knows? We need to try Lenny Yoro out in pre-season, I think, in a number of positions. So, look, we'll see what happens with that. But the reality is we need to get the recruitment right. In terms of selling players as well that Michael Carrick doesn't want at the football club. So, if we get the recruitment right, I do believe next season we can have a really good season. Now, look, this is the second thing I'm moving on for. The second thing that Ineos must do is listen to Carrick. Listen to Carrick, because he is the Manchester United manager. He's not the head coach. He's the manager. Okay? I don't want to hear any of this head coach bullshit, because what's happened now in the last couple of seasons is that Jason Wilcox and Omar Barada have had the final say on transfers. That's not the way it should be. The Manchester United manager, in my opinion, should have the final say on transfers and who he wants to come into the team, buy into the way he wants to play, and be one of the faces of this new team and this new project, you could say, under Carrick. It's absolutely vital we get this right. It really is, because, lads, as I said, getting Carrick for another few seasons is a risky move. Like, if you want my honest opinion, and I really hope this doesn't happen, by the way, I want Carrick to be a success at Manchester United. As I said, you will not hear me calling out Carrick's name next season. You will hear me calling out Ineos for making the decision. It's as simple as that. Manchester United should always be getting the best in class, but it looks like we're not going to do that. So, look, I think this is worst case scenario. I'll be real. I just don't think Carrick is good enough to be the face of the club. But if we're gonna, keep him there and, him be the new permanent Manchester United manager, then we must back him in the right way. We must listen to what he wants, because he's the manager. He wants players that's going to fit into his style and what he wants to do. We saw the football that he played in Middlesbrough, but we also know that he got sacked in Middlesbrough as well. So look, it's going to be an interesting summer. It really is. So it looks like Carrick is staying. So we must listen to what Carrick wants. It's as simple as that. We must listen to what Carrick wants. And this is the third thing. If this goes tits up next season, Ineos must take responsibility. It's as simple as that. I don't want to hear PR next season of, this shirt, this training kit, this, fucking sweatshirt that they're bringing out. They're going to do all this next season if it goes tits up, by the way. The day after, they'll bring out merch or they'll bring out statements and stuff like that. The third thing that Ineos must do, I don't want to hear statements before the summer transfer window saying, we're going to be going big now this summer because we've heard it already. Minimum of 5 signings, 300 million to spend, 150 million on midfielders, 3 midfielders. Do it then. So don't make statements and then not do it and then not produce. I don't want to see that this summer, okay? Because you know what? The last summer transfer window was actually a very good one. The last summer transfer window with Cunha, Mbeumo, Sesko, and Lamens was a really good window. I will give them credit on that. And it has vastly improved us in the attacking areas and obviously the goalkeeping position. Now, I do think we might need a backup to Lamens if he does get injured, or we need to rotate him, because I don't want to see Baynder in goal. Baynder, for me, has cost us massively in the past with some of his goalkeeping displays. And I think if we're going to rotate Lamens, he's the only option. So we must get a backup. So maybe that could be another position that Ineos must fill. And as I said, they did really well in the last summer transfer window. And even the one before that, I know we finished 15th, but De Ligt was a good signing. I think Mazwari was a decent signing at the time. Obviously, Xerxes wasn't great, and Ugarte, prefer not to speak. But they have brought in good players in their first couple of windows. But this summer is the most important summer since they've come in so far, because we need to recruit properly. We're back in the Champions League. We're going to be playing 2 to 3 games a week. We need to recruit properly. We need to have a big squad next season that's going to rotate in certain games here and there when it comes to the Carabao Cup, when it comes to the Champions League, and when it comes to the FA Cup games. We have a big, big season next season. It's not going to be a 40-game plus season. Sorry, it's not going to be a 40-game season next season. It's going to be 60 plus. So we need to be prepared for that, and we need to be well ready for those games. Those volume of games are going to be coming thick and fast next season. So, look, as I said, it's a massive season. So, the first thing that Ineos must do, get the recruitment right. The second thing they must do is listen to Carrick and what he wants, and what players he wants to come into the team. And the third thing, they must take responsibility if this goes wrong. Or they must actually go with what they're saying they're going to do. The stuff that's coming out of the club, go with what you're saying. Say it with chest and do it with chest to what you're going to do at Manchester United in the summer. Because I don't want to hear statements. It's all PR to me at the moment. I haven't seen anything yet. I haven't seen anything where I'm like, we're going to be prepared for next season. Now, it is only May, so give it a chance. But let's be real. If it hits July and we haven't made any signings or any real progress in terms of the recruitment, I'm going to start calling it out. And ye better start calling it out as well. I want to see every fan on their fucking case this summer. It's absolutely vital that we be on their necks this summer and get the players in there required for us to go and be a fucking success and a force to be reckoned with next season. So, let's see what happens. But this has been your boy, Thumbaldinho. That's for me what needs to happen this summer. Those three things that we need to do to make it a successful season for Michael Carrick and this squad. So, Ineos, it's over to fucking ye. Go with what you're saying you're going to fucking do. Let's see what happens. But look, it's been your boy, Thumbaldinho. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. More content coming soon. There will be loads of content coming up for the World Cup this summer, so I'm looking forward to that. And we're going to start doing watch-alongs soon. So, hopefully, next season we'll be ready for that. So, yes, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. It's been your boy, Thumbaldinho. Now, let's catch you in the next one.